Hey guys, I've got some more tips and tricks, and today I want to talk about some ways to take less damage or maybe no damage at all. So the first thing I want to talk about really quickly, because it's pretty straightforward, is just your armor selection and which pieces matter the most. So each piece of armor has its own armor percentage, and that's how much it protects you. The higher the better. So obviously you want the best armor on your body parts that get hit the most. Typically that'll be your body, but your head is also generally pretty vulnerable. So I always like to get a good chest piece and helmet. And then the other pieces aren't that important, but there are a couple situations where you might still want to invest. If you're using a two-handed weapon, you might want to get armor for your left arm that faces the opponent, because you can end up getting hit there quite a bit and the damage will add up. Also, say you only have a one-handed weapon, you might have to use that weapon to block attacks, so it can be a good idea to get some armor for your right arm so that it doesn't get hit too hard while you're holding your weapon out there. And speaking of that, that's the next thing I want to talk about. Whether you're using a one-hander, two-hander, or a shield to block attacks, you want to make sure you're positioning it effectively. So obviously when you're blocking attacks with a weapon, that's not ideal and there's only so much you can do. But one thing I like to do that really makes your weapon more effective for blocking is keeping it close to your opponent's weapon and almost trying to mirror them. This way they don't really get a chance to swing, because as soon as they move their weapon, it's going to bang into yours. If you do get hit, it shouldn't be for that much damage since they won't get much speed on their swing. Also, this way you don't have to react to their attacks, you're already there waiting for them. You can see how when you crowd them like that, they can't really attack you properly. When it comes to two-handers, they can be hard to block effectively with because of how close you hold them to your body, and they don't have a lot of surface area to block with. So one thing you can do with certain weapons is to hold it in an attack instead of holding your block. This works best with long stabbing weapons, but you can also use the left-sided attacks with a polearm to kind of do the same thing. And you can just kind of hold it out there so that their attacks hit your weapon first and don't get as close to your body. It's not a perfect solution, but I tend to prefer doing this rather than blocking normally. If you do have a shield, you still want to make sure you're adjusting your block to mirror the enemy's attack, but you also want to pay attention to its positioning when you aren't actively blocking. So watch this. You see what happened? I turned the wrong way, and had I turned the other way so that my shield came around first, I probably wouldn't have been hit there. Just passively having your shield in the right positions can really help you take a lot less damage. You see in this 1v many, I'm kinda just circling around, keeping everyone on my left arm so that my shield is always in a good position to block their attacks without me actually having to click my block at all. Another way you can avoid damage is to dodge instead of blocking. This is useful if you don't have a weapon you feel good about blocking with. You know, if maybe early on you only have a little hammer or something. Or like this one where I just wanted nothing to do with the sword after the first hit got me. Dodging at the right moment, which is easier if you've leveled it up, can not only keep you from taking any damage, but also saves your armor from getting hit and losing durability, so it's a good thing to practice at any level. The last thing I want to talk about, and this is probably the best thing you can do if you absolutely want to avoid taking damage. In fact, this is what I tend to do when my health is low and I really need to lock in and win a fight, and that's dodging and blocking at the same time. Sometimes when you dodge, you're not going to get it quite right, and you still may get caught by the end of their weapon. So if you have your block up as well, you kind of double your chances of avoiding the damage. And that's that. I hope these tips are helpful to you guys. As always, thanks for watching, subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time.